Hey, visionaries! You are now tuned in to the Starts with a Vision podcast, where everything you do in life starts with a vision. If your vision is clear or foggy, you are in the right place. It's time to go take what's yours, because there's a vision only you can see, and a dream only you can dream. And now, your host, Mr. Starts with a Vision.
What is going on, guys? This is Mr. Starts with the Vision, and I have somebody so amazing today for this podcast episode. She is the whiz, the master when it comes to sponsorships, okay? And I mean that. If you need sponsorships for anything, this is the woman to go to talk to, okay? She will put you on game. She will get you right. She will get you where you need to be when it comes to sponsorships for your business, for your movement, for your brand, whatever it is. If you need sponsorships, she is the lady. And sponsorships are so much easier than we all think they are, right? So I really want you guys to tune in, because you can get six-figure contracts from a sponsor, for your business, for your brand, and it is pretty much like free money. There's so much money out there for us, accessible to us. So today's guest is Quiana Murray. She is a sponsorship strategist. So enjoy today's episode. What's going on, everybody listening? Look, this is Isaiah Fowler, a.k.a. Mr. SWAV, Mr. Starts with the Vision, and I really want to give Quiana this big introduction and stuff, but I really want to just get to the information, because she is sitting on like so much gold and so many like nuggets. It's crazy. So today's guest is somebody who specializes, eats, sleeps, and breathes sponsorships. And I'm just blown away. I met her on Facebook. Of course, this is why I love social media. She's based in Maryland, but she is killing the sponsorship game. And it's just so much to learn and so much to know about this. And your life is about to be changed. Your business is about to be changed right here, right now on this episode. So if you're listening, please share this with somebody who's been talking about sponsorships, who's been thinking about sponsorships for their event, for their products, for whatever. So how you doing today, Quiana?
I'm doing great.
I am so excited to be talking to you right now today about this topic, because there's not enough information out there about this. Would you agree?
I 100% agree, yes.
And I'm just like, when I saw you, I'm like, nobody is talking about sponsorships. You either see people who got the sponsorship, but they're not going to share it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So,
right.
You are really in a unique position right now, and I'm just glad that you took the time to talk about this. And you said you've been doing sponsorships a while, so just give everybody a quick pretense of how long you've been doing this and exactly what you do.
Sure. Well, actually, it's been almost 20 years, which I know makes me sound real old, but
no, it don't. You're only as old as you feel.
But I started back in college, actually. I worked for housing, and we were required to host events for students. And so I started reaching out to the media, the radio, TV, and then other companies, and just told them that, there's a demographic here that is pretty much underserved. And if you want to get your product or service or, whatever it is that you're doing in front of students who are very loyal people, then come on, give us something. And from there, it just grew over time, working with entrepreneurs, even working with corporations, because corporations sponsor each other. A lot of people don't know that's going on, but yeah, there's a reason that you see certain corporations and then they're always, doing things together, partnering, things like that. It's just an amazing industry.
Mm-hmm. Isn't it like, it's just like a whole bunch of behind the scenes stuff that be going on that a lot of people don't know, huh?
Exactly.
Right. Would you say that like sponsorships aren't they like, on the same level of just strategic partnerships?
Absolutely. And the thing is, when you think about a strategic partnership, you normally think about a relationship that's mutually beneficial. Mm-hmm. But more and more corporations are taking smaller businesses, they're wanting to partner there because generally speaking, we're very loyal to certain brands and certain companies. And then by the time normally these larger corporations hear about it, you've got fans, you've got all kinds of people who are throwing money at these small businesses. And those larger corporations want that same loyalty.
Got you. And they just want to be able to partner and kind of capture that loyalty that the people have.
Absolutely.
I got you. And that's pretty much why you see, for example, DJ Khaled blew up. I remember I saw a picture and he always used cocoa butter on Snapchat. Now his face is on cocoa butter.
Yep.
So that literally ties into exactly what you're saying.
Exactly. Yes.
So when I think about sponsorships, I usually think about, I more so think about kind of just like events. That's the only time you really hear about, sponsorships or, get your event sponsored and make money, on the back end, have them pay for it, blah, blah, blah. So, can you talk about in what capacity sponsorships can be beneficial for you? Because you talked a little bit earlier about, products and stuff like that. Like, how does it even work? And I know it could be vague, but how does it all even work? And how can it work for so many other people who may not have even thought about it?
Actually, you know what? The bottom line is your sponsors just want to make money. So, what they're doing is they're looking at you as another marketing stream, and you should be looking at them as an income stream. So the way that it works is that here's a perfect example. Look at the recent laws that have changed regarding cannabis, and legalizing cannabis. Well, guess what? Netflix just did a major event to promote their new show called Disjointed with Kathy Bates. And what they did was they offered a lot of sponsorship to a lot of these companies that are distilleries and things like that, because they wanted people who are already, in the cannabis world or know about cannabis to watch their new show that they've invested so much money in. So you see, that wasn't even really an event. That was just behind an actual launch of a show. You can get sponsorship for podcasts. You can get sponsorship for meetup groups. I've helped people get sponsorship just for their brand, which means just them as a person. When they go live, are they holding a Starbucks cup? You know what? If you're my client, Starbucks paid you to hold that cup there. It's just so absolutely amazing. And it doesn't have to just be events. Like if you're somebody and you're thinking, oh Lord, I don't want to host an event. I get that. Not everybody does. You can get your products sponsored. You can get your group programs if you're a coach or something and get those sponsored. Podcast sponsored, Facebook Lives sponsored. You would be surprised. Companies spend on average over $60 billion a year in sponsorships. So that's just the cash. That's not even the goods that they're giving you and services they're doing for you. That's just the cash. Damn. And it's growing by roughly $2 billion a year over the last 5 years. So you figure in the next 5 years, we're going to be probably close to about $70 billion in sponsorship.
Right. And that's all, an opportunity for all of us who are putting ourselves in positions.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
So let me ask you this. Does a person have to have a brand? Does a person have to have a good following? Or is it people who are getting sponsorships on, events and, even if their following isn't like super huge, like, how can you, give us insight on that?
You know what it is, really? It comes down to having an idea that you can sell and pitch. Because I have helped people obtain sponsorship who were brand spanking new, meaning, okay, I need you to set up a Facebook, account.
Really?
Because they did everything offline. Right. And you don't have to have a big following. More than anything, sponsors are looking to see that you can create these things. If you don't have a big following, what's your plan for getting people to your event or on your podcast or, in your group? that's what they're looking for. And if you pitch the right way, and it's not really hard, you just have to be really like magnetic. And by that, I just mean you have to be excited. You have to, know and, have done a little bit of research to know what they're looking for. One of the examples that I give a lot of times is, if you don't yet have a business, but you pretty much know the market that you're going to be working with, or you have an idea of the type of client you want, look at the magazines that those type of people read. And this is a freebie for your audience. If you, for example, I work with entrepreneurs. So the magazines that I'm going to pick up are going to be like Savoy for Black entrepreneurs. I'm going to be picking up things like Fast Company, things like that, and flip through the pages of the magazine and look at the different ads that you see, who's marketing and paying for ad space in those magazines, because those are the people, or the companies, I should say, that are trying to reach the same people you are. So then what you do is you pitch those companies, because if I see, a Mercedes ad in a magazine that's for entrepreneurs, then I know that Mercedes is trying to get entrepreneurs to buy their cars. So guess who I am going to pitch? I'm going to go pitch Mercedes, because guess what? We both are trying to pitch and bring those type of people into our businesses. So why not partner together?
Right. Now, does that mean that you're going to get a big old super, fat check stroked? Or, because I think that there's a misconception. The people who do get sponsors, it's a ton of money. And if you don't, then it's like, no money. So like, is there like some medium, or, if somebody does sponsor it, may it only be like $100, or talk about like the amounts and stuff like that?
Well, and it's funny because when we were talking about earlier the snowball effect, that's the analogy that I actually use with my clients, because here's the thing. Think about sponsorship as a snowball rolling downhill. Before it gets to the bottom and it's this huge ball, you have to pack the snow. And so the way that you do that is you start small, because that's where you're going to be practicing, and you may get something wrong, or you may not, really know what you're doing. But once you start getting, those small things, then you can take those to the bigger corporations and say, look, hey, my local gym up the street is sponsoring me for this, and that's a corporation. So then you take it, because what happens a lot of times is these bigger corporations, they want, again, it to be worth their while. So if you're going to Microsoft, for example, and you're asking for $100, it's not worth their while, because it's going to cost more than that just to shop your idea in-house. So you go to Microsoft and you say, I want $25,000. Okay, that's worth someone's while to go and do the research and get your proposal in front of the decision makers. You have to remember that these are corporations, Right. So there's a lot of bureaucracy. There's a lot of following up, because yours isn't the only pitch or proposal sitting on someone's desk. So the thing is, you can get a lot of money. I'm going to tell you, though, for most Fortune 500 companies, the smallest that I've seen them willing to send is $5,000. So your pitch is going to have to be big for those, because, again, remember, you're talking about multiple people. And does it cost more to shop your idea inside our company than you're even asking for?
Right. And when you say your pitch is going to have to be big, what is a big pitch?
Anything that's I generally say, for a newbie starting out, I generally say anything over about $10,000 to $15,000. Now, if you're a bigger brand, then that's when you start getting into, sometimes a 6-figure pitch, or even a 7-figure pitch. I mean, that's what you really want to look at, where you are and how you're going to be able to use that money or whatever you're given, so that those sponsors are getting a return on that investment. So I would never tell somebody who's brand spanking new, with not a lot of followers, go pitch, $1 million sponsorship, unless they're trying to like really create something big,
Right.
But if you're doing a conference, you don't want to, it's just not going to be worth your time.
Right. Right. So you have to kind of be able to match up like your ambition and like what's kind of like reasonable for make it a win-win for everybody.
Exactly. And when you diversify, you can still get yourself up to a 6-figure, sponsorship package. You just need to diversify. Maybe you pick, 20 companies and go for 5,000, or, whatever, 4 for 25,000. Just remember, diversify. You don't want to get just one sponsor and then, be stuck if, they don't renew.
Right. And what's like a good time frame that somebody, like a rule of thumb, like you reach out to them and like, when is kind of like what's a good time frame to expect to hear back, or from time to reach out to like getting some money?
Oh, it depends on the company. I have, last week, this is a good example for you. Last week, I did a sponsorship challenge where I told everyone who participated, in 5 days, you will have a new sponsor. Right. And one of the participants, and I'm just going to use her as an example, she had no sponsorship. She is still formulating what it is she's trying to do. She's her business is relatively new. She was able to get Microsoft in 5 days.
What?
Yeah, and she actually ended up getting 2 Fortune 500 companies in 5 days.
Really?
But that's what I'm saying. It depends on the company. Just like you go to some places and, you get what you want. I always say, think about it like an Amazon versus, a neighborhood place. If you go to, your local bookstore, you can grab the book right there. But if you order from Amazon, you got at least 2 days before it's going to get to you. So you just think about it like that. And so, again, that's where the diversification comes in, because some companies are going to take, 6 months, and others you can do in 5 days. Right.
And so with Microsoft, like, what was she trying to get sponsored? Was it her brand, some content, or an event, or what? And if you don't mind sharing, like, the price point as well, but if you can't, then I understand.
Well, she did a 2-prong approach, which is another thing that I recommend you do. The first thing is she is considering, and this is what's funny, doing workshops. So she didn't even, she hadn't even committed to the ultimate thing that she's getting sponsored, but she's considering doing workshops. So she went to Microsoft and she said, the first thing that I want is you to provide space. Mm-hmm. And they said, okay, fine. It's yours. As long as nobody else is using, our conference space, you can have it here. So right there, think about it. She doesn't have to pay for space. That's a huge, expense for many events. Mm-hmm. And then the second thing is she's meeting with them on Wednesday to discuss dollars. So I won't disclose those yet because, that's, her pitch, right. But yeah. So you see, and, right there, she's hosting an event and she does not have to provide space, and she's having her event at Microsoft, and she's not even a tech person, but think about it. She's doing something for entrepreneurs that are all going to be walking into Microsoft. Mm-hmm. So think about how your brain works with that. So I'm walking into Microsoft. I need a new tablet. Am I going to go, get this tablet over here, or am I going to get the Microsoft one where I get to walk in, I get to see, people working, I get to, it's just, it's an amazing thing because she saved herself thousands of dollars by getting them to agree to let her have her event there and plus pay her.
Right. So she actually made money when she could have been spending a whole bunch of money.
I'm telling you, yes. Right.
And so this is what you do full time. This is what you teach people to do. This is what you help people to do.
Absolutely. Absolutely. The whole point of sponsorship is to get you out of spending money in your business and instead receiving money in your business.
So if somebody like today was like, hey, what's like the first steps? Or somebody's like, hey, I'm not even new. I just want to go get some sponsorships. Like, I know there's a process. You have to know your target market, stuff like that. But like, what are some actionable steps you're able to, give them or tell her, whatever it is?
Sure. The first thing is to, before you even know your target market, you really need to think about what it is you want sponsored. Because the process for getting like your brand sponsored and getting an event sponsored is very different. So that's the first thing. You need to know what it is you want to get sponsored. And then you need to, know your tribe. I always say this, you need to know your tribe because, you could go and pitch a corporation and they could even want to pay you. But if your tribe isn't going to be loyal to them or isn't going to, really do anything with that sponsor, then you just wasted your time. So, and that's another thing, I always say, think about yourself in terms of being a brand ambassador. If you think about yourself as that, then you're only going to pitch sponsors that are going to have a return on their investment through your tribe.
Right.
So though honestly, if you do that, then you could probably pitch anything. It really wouldn't matter. You just need to know your people and you need to, figure out what you want sponsored.
Right. Do you recommend like cold emails or like what's your way of, and I know you teach this and help people and do it for them, but like in terms of like a resource, do you tell them like do cold emails or is like there's some like database or website that they can kind of go in and submit it?
There are many different ways, and it depends on the corporation. Some corporations will only allow you to submit through there. It's almost like if you go apply for a job, it's like a database. You have to go in, you have to upload content. Some prefer you to actually talk to their people. And then others, I say, look, get in your car and get there, or Uber or whatever, actually go show up. It depends on the corporation. That's the thing that I think frustrates a lot of people who are new to sponsorship because every company is so different. And what I normally do is, again, I tell them how to diversify so that you have a way to move forward. Because if you know that you're going to be dealing with, 3 companies that are going to only want you to submit via their online portal, that's going to take a lot more time than someplace that may have a regional office and you can just walk in there and, request to speak to someone or set up an appointment. So
you can actually go to, if they have a headquarters or whatever it is, you can just go to the office and pitch them and kind of get like a faster response.
Yep. That's how she got Microsoft. I told her, I said, look, you can email them all day, but go in there, walk in and just ask, who can I speak to? This is what, I'm trying to do.
Right. Would you recommend somebody to hire someone to write a pitch template?
Here's the thing. That's what I do. But that said, if you are a good writer and you have been in business long enough that you know your tribe inside out, you're very clear with what it is you want to do. Look, all you need is someone who maybe you bounce ideas off of to make sure that they're, that they're something that a corporation would even be interested in. But if you can write, do it yourself. Like I always tell people, and I would love to get to the point where I've taught everybody how to fish instead of just giving them a fish. And my clients will tell you, you get a certain amount of time. And then I'm expecting you to know this. And the reason why is because it's such an important skill. And I would rather you learn how to do this piece or even, learn how to do it enough that you can hire a team to do it for you than to keep having to come to me. And I know that sounds contrary as an entrepreneur, but I really believe that we need to empower ourselves. And even if you don't know how to do it or you say, look, I just really don't want to learn how to do it, you need to know enough that you can ensure that the people you're hiring to do it for you are doing it right.
So I get what you're saying. So literally, if you have and this is a golden nugget as well, but I'm pretty sure that you would agree with this. If you have a business and you're a service provider, you can learn from you, figure out, and add this on to the services that you offer to increase the value.
Absolutely. And I've taught event planners how to do this. You know, now it's something that they will only offer their own clients, you know, like, you know, but yes, look, like I always say, you know, as entrepreneurs, we wear so many different hats. And so I understand if you don't want to put this one on, but you need to at least know how it's done, because then that way you're empowered and you don't get taken. You don't sign a contract that could end up hurting your brand instead of building it. You know, it just really becomes one of those things where you have to say, okay, look, I'm going to take some time. I'm going to figure this out, because here's the thing. The proposal is different even than the pitch. So, you know, you need to understand what's in that proposal. So when you walk in that, you know, that boardroom, you can say, okay, look, you know, per, you know, this proposal, we're asking for this, this, and this when you negotiate, because that's another thing. It's not always that you say, okay, I need $10,000. I've seen where people have come back and said, okay, you're asking for 10,000, but what can we get if we give you 20? You know, because sometimes to them, they, you know, may want to take this and make this even bigger.
Right. You know? I get what you're saying.
Yeah. And people don't think about that.
This is amazing. So how would this, how could this work for product placement as well?
Oh, I love that, because here's the thing. I'll give you an example, because when I explain it, people are always like, okay, wait, what? I have a client who uses a specific technology. It's a product. And what she did was she partnered with the creator of the product, so that she only uses that product or technology in her program that she teaches other entrepreneurs how to do. So basically, think of it like this. Okay, you're teaching someone how to use, how to be good with their clients, you know, how to get clients and, you know, how to manage the different client accounts and things like that. Well, a lot of times you need a CRM, which is just like a customer management system. And so she picked one that she really liked, and she pitched that company and said, look, you have a product that I want and that I use and I want my tribe to use. How can we partner so that I, you know, get some benefit from bringing them to you? And so what they did, a lot of times people would have just said, oh, I'll just be an affiliate, which isn't a bad thing. Right. But by her doing that, what she was able to get is she was able to get, one, her own, the ability for her to use it pretty much for life without having to pay for it. She brought the clients into the product, and not only that, they also paid her like a finder's fee. So they still paid her almost as if she were an affiliate. Right. Plus, she doesn't have to pay for it. Plus, they get to use it. And that was a multi-year contract.
Wow. So we're not even talking about like a month. Like we talking about she's got like income solidified for a couple years.
Yes.
Wow. So you blowing my mind right now,
3 guaranteed and 2 to negotiate.
3 guaranteed?
Yes, 3 guaranteed and 2 she can negotiate because she put in the contract first right of refusal. So if she decides, I'm not loving this anymore, or I want to get additional sponsors, she takes it back to them and they get to say, yes, we're going to continue with you for the next 2 years, or no, that's okay, we don't want to do it. And then she doesn't lose out.
Right. And honestly, you can do this as like a whole, this could be your brand as it is yours, but this can be your whole brand. So you can literally be partnering with other people not people, but other brands. And this also makes your brand stronger.
Yep.
Wow. Because now you're on a level of, you're like a partner with these companies as opposed to just they're a consumer. Exactly.
Because guess what? Losing you, think about it like this. Losing you as a consumer but gaining all of your tribe is so worth it for them.
Right.
You know, because now I'm not paying Microsoft, but everybody that, interacts with me or all my clients are. So yeah, that's a great investment for them.
Absolutely.
We may have lost one person who was going to buy a tablet, but we gained 30 more. So it was worth it.
Right. So Quiana, why do you do what you do? Because I hear the passion in your voice. I could tell you love it, but why do you do what you do? Because it's just amazing. And nobody is talking about this. There's one book that somebody recommended about sponsorships. But when I tell you, you just broke it so much down. You opened up a whole bunch of things in my brain that, I was thinking about, but it always seemed like it was hard or whatever. But you made it sound so simple. Why do you do what you do?
You know what? Honestly, because it's twofold, really. Okay, on the surface level, it's because I'm bossy and I like telling people what to do. I'll just be honest. But truly, but inside, it's because, we need to, as entrepreneurs, and even as minority entrepreneurs, we need to be putting more back into our communities. And a lot of times what ends up happening is as people grow and, they think about an Oprah, everybody can see Oprah and they think, wow, she's great. She does all these amazing things. But the person who's just, starting their side business really can't relate to Oprah.
Not at all.
So the reason I do this is because I want to show you how you can get your way there. Mm-hmm. And you're not, generally speaking, going to get your way there by being a consumer. So you need to learn how to monetize the different aspects of your business and yourself so that you can get there. Because if not, you're going to constantly find yourself hitting a brick wall. You're going to have to keep launching different things. You're going to have to keep coming up with new ideas. And that is tiring when you can just come up with one great idea and have a bunch of different companies pay you to keep doing it. Right. I mean, it's nothing better than coming up with one signature program and then having, companies pay you to keep running it. So you're getting the dollars from the clients and you're getting the dollars from the corporation. You're never going to be without money. You're never going to go under. Mm-hmm. You're going to be around forever.
Right. And very profitable. You're actually going to be extra profitable.
You hear what I'm saying? Yeah.
I hear exactly what you're saying.
Yes. And the more we do that, it makes it better for the next generation of entrepreneurs. I'm a parent, so, I want my kids to be able to say, hey, Mom, you know what? I want to do this. I want to do something else. I want to, how do I do this? And because what's going to happen is more and more, we're going to find more and more people are leaving the traditional 9-to-5 and becoming entrepreneurs.
Absolutely.
And so if we can help them stay in business, then that's happy. I mean, I really enjoy hearing from people who say, thanks to this sponsor, I didn't have to go and go back to work, or, thanks to this sponsor, my side hustle became my only hustle, whatever, It just, it's a good feeling for me. And I'm a connector, so it gives me another way to connect.
Got you. Absolutely. Well, this has been amazing. Quiana, how can people find out about you? Because everybody listening, I want you guys to go learn from Quiana, go get her started. I want you to go do something because this is amazing. So how can everybody contact you and find out more about you?
Well, I'm on Facebook as Quiana T Murray, and so here's the thing. My name starts with a Q because people are always like, I can't find you. It's Quiana T Murray. I'm there. I am going to be running the sponsorship challenge again, and that's totally free, so if you want a new sponsor in the next 5 days, you can go to bit.ly/get sponsorship, all lowercase, all together. And you can do that challenge. And I'm telling you, I mean, it has changed people's lives. I had people say, I'm rebranding because I got a sponsor and they were interested in this aspect of what I'm doing. So I'm just dropping that other stuff. I mean, it's an amazing thing. And like I said, it's totally free. And And I just want to get more people introduced to the sponsorship realm and what's available to you. Because remember, guys, $60-some billion a year.
Yeah, we could all eat off of that.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we could go on a few vacations with that corporate money.
Exactly.
Well, Quiana, it's been like so amazing, and I'm even thinking about like another part 2 with you because you cool, you got good energy, but I think that there's even so much more. I think that this was like the first layer. And I just think that there's so much more. So we can definitely, put that in the books down the road. But I just want to say thank you for your time and being a part of the podcast as well.
Oh, you are so welcome. I appreciate the opportunity, really. I love your podcast. Love it. So
I appreciate that. So everybody listening, go contact Quiana. I'm not playing no games. Go contact Quiana. I'm so serious because this is I'm serious. Go contact Quiana. No games. Go do it right now. So with that being said, that's today's episode, guys, and we're going to finish this right now. But if you have any questions, hit her up. Let her know how amazing the episode was, and we're going to talk to you on the next show.
Thanks for listening to the Starts with a Vision podcast. Come get your vision clear at www.startswithavision.com. See you there.